before we can actually start building our app that calls into Office 365, we have to ensure that the latest bits are installed on our machine. In order to validate that, go to Tools, Extensions and Updates, and verify that you have installed at least version 1.1.5.1.2, and as soon as you're running that version, you're ready to go. So let's create a new web application for our sample. Project web, yeah. And let's change the authentication to provide no authentication for that sample, and we also do not want to directly publish it to Windows Azure, so that's fine. And once the web project has been created, we are actually adding a new connected service. So that's especially what we get by installing Office 365 API tools. I've already signed in to my O365 account, so I can say I would like to target to my single organization, and I would like to read, let's say, calendar items for the current user. Okay, and by hitting OK, it's pulling down additional NuGet packages which are taking care about authentication the user, handling all the OAuth things underneath the hood, and it's providing a managed API that we can use to call into Office 365, and in our example right here, it's generating an API sample which reads the upcoming 10 events from my calendar in Office 365. Okay, and especially this method will now be integrated in our controller. So let's go to the home controller and let's change the index view to provide asynchronous processing. And return, instead of returning the action result, we're actually returning a task of action result. We have the add reference right here, and let's store the events right here and call in. And at that point we would like to wait for this action to complete, and then we pass all our events to the view. At this point, it's we have to generate a new view that should be from the type of list, and currently the event type sits inside of the new assembly which has been downloaded to your project. So we have to use a little hack in order to get this strongly typed view, just bypassing a different type. And right now I have an IEnumerable of bundle config, which makes totally no sense, but we're changing that by grabbing the type iEvent from Microsoft.Office365.exchange and providing that as type for our view. And let's change the strings right here. We don't need to create, or don't like to create new events from here. We just would like to read them. My events. Let's provide a stripped table at this point, and we would like to print out a subject from each event, and of course the start date. And let's change this to be item subject, and again this one to be item start. Okay, that's it. Once I hit F5, it's firing up my local IIS Express, and as soon as I hit the default route, I will be redirected to the common consent dialog, which takes care about handling my identity. So right here I have to log in against Azure AD. Let's do it that way. And once I'm authenticated, Office 365 is returning back my OAuth token, which then will be reused to call in to Exchange Online and pull down all my upcoming meetings directly from my Office 365 calendar.